Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of No Huddle with Zach Arndt. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Nebraska Cornhuskers, giving a preview for the upcoming 2022 college football season. Led by head coach Scott Frost going into year number 5. He has a career record in his 6 years of coaching of 34-36, and at Nebraska he's 15-29. Some key players returning for Nebraska: outside linebacker Garrett Nelson, 11.5 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, and 38 yards of loss. In 2021, Luke Raymer, the inside linebacker, he had 6 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and 6 pass breakups. He was a guy that came on late last year. The former walk-on really broke out in 2021. Quarterback Casey Thompson, the transfer from Texas, transferred out of Texas. Hudson Card, Quinn Ewers battling out over there. He wanted to seek a new opportunity, and he found it. He started the final 10 games last year at Texas, threw for 2,100 yards, 24 touchdowns, and he had 3 games with 5 or more touchdowns. Some key losses: they lost one of the better quarterbacks in the Big Ten last year. They lost 4-year starter Adrian Martinez. He threw for nearly 3,000 yards, 14 touchdowns, 10 picks last year. He was also the team's leading rusher with 520 rushing yards. They lost Cam Taylor-Britt, the corner. He was all Big Ten last year. He was a 3-year starter, had 51 tackles, 11 pass breakups, and 1 interception last season. They also lost JoJo Doman. I apologize if I said that wrong. He was a 3-year starter. He was the 3rd leading tackler in 2021 with 72 tackles, 9 of them for loss, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 interceptions. Looking at the 2022 recruiting class, they went out and signed 3 4-stars. Jaden Gold, the corner, Janirin Bonner, wide receiver, and then Dakotas Crawford. He has one of the coolest names in all of college football, the coldest. He's from Shreveport, Louisiana. Looking at the depth chart, they have Alante Brown, Trey Palmer, Omar Manning at wide receiver. I expect Omar Manning to be their leading receiver going into this year. Really a breakout guy at the end of last season. Wyatt Lure, Brody Bell, and Oliver Martin make out the receiving room. Looking at the offensive line, they returned 3 starters from last season: Bryce Benhart, Turner Corcoran, and Nordine Newley. They're going to have to break in some new starters on the offensive line. I expect Teddy Broshakska, apologize if I said that wrong, Ethan Piper, and Brock Bando to step in there. Travis Vokalek and A.J. Rollins are the 2 tight ends. At quarterback, they have Casey Thompson, who's going to be battling out Logan Smothers, the quarterback. Smothers threw for 300 yards last year. He went 23 for 33 on passing with 1 interception. Running back Ramir Johnson returns. He ran for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns last year. Next we'll have Jaquez Yant in the backfield. Defensive line, breaking in some starters. They lost Jordan Riley and Casey Rogers from last year. So Mosai Newsome, Ty Robinson, and O'Shawn Mathis stepping in there. Linebackers, they return every starter at linebacker: Garrett Nelson, Luke Raymer, Nick Henrich, and Caleb Tanner. Very solid linebacker core there for the Cornhuskers. Quentin Newsome at corner, one of the better corners in the Big Ten. Braxton Clark, Mallis Farmer, and Isaac Gifford are going to make out the DB room. Marcus Buford Jr., Deshaun Singleton, and Noah Pola Gates are some backups. Looking at some team stats: offensive efficiency, they ranked 58th. Offensive explosive plays, they were 22nd. Turnover margin, they were -5, which was a big reason they went 3-9. They were 98th in turnover margin. They didn't have a single loss by double digits, which is actually crazy to think about, especially when you're a team that goes 3-9 when you're just as close to going 9-3. Looking ahead to 2022, this team has some pieces. I have this team going 7-5. I'm really high on Nebraska. They were so close last year. I also think they could go 6-6. That's their floor. They start out with Northwestern, that neutral site game in Ireland, week 0. I think they'll win that. I also think they'll win their next 2 out-of-conference games against North Dakota and Georgia Southern. Oklahoma, the rivalry game, I think they'll lose that this year. I think they'll beat Indiana. I think they'll go on the road and beat Rutgers. At Purdue, I think they'll win that, even though that's a toss-up game. I think they'll beat Illinois. I have them losing to Minnesota. At Michigan in the Big House, I have them losing there. Wisconsin, that should be a really good game. I think Nebraska's going to lose that. And then traveling to Iowa, I think Iowa will get the better of them. So looking at the schedule, I say 7-5, but 6-6 is very possible. That Purdue game on the road, if that's a night game, winning at Purdue is never easy. That could be a trip-up game for Scott Frost. But once again, I'm very high on Nebraska. I've always been high on them. I mean, last year they could score the ball. They averaged 28 points a game. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say they could score the ball. I guess I should say they moved the ball. They were 20th in yards per game. It was just when they got in the red zone, finishing drives, they ranked 63rd in the country on offense. If that improves, that could be a difference in 4 and 5 wins in 2022 in Scott Frost's 5th year at Nebraska. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I hope you all have a great day. I'll catch you in the next one.